I met Daniel not too long ago at a conference we were together at in California, and I love him. I love his work. Okay, Daniel, I think my question for you would be this. Obviously, it has to be rooted in hospitality. I wrote an entire book based on what I think people in other industries could learn from what happens in a restaurant dining room. That the hospitality we bring to the table can actually impact far more people than just those serving and eating in restaurants. Based on the times you've spent in restaurants being served by people, what can leaders in organizations, people leading large groups of people, learn either from good service you've received in a restaurant or from bad service you've received in a restaurant?
Hey, well, I think there's a huge amount that people can learn from both good hospitality and bad hospitality because, as you know from our time together, I'm a Trinitarian and I believe that everything comes in threes. I think that there are actually three things that people can learn from hospitality, good and bad. The first is that leadership is about a mix of the details and the big picture. It's not either or. So in a restaurant, what you want to have is you want to have the totality of the meal, but the small details matter considerably. And I know that you've talked a lot about that in your book about, say, where the silverware goes or small touches that a server will make in the course of the meal. So leadership is about mixing the big picture and the details. The second thing, which I think is enormously important, is that people often don't know what they want. So if you think of your job as simply delivering what people already want, that's good, that's necessary, but it's not sufficient. And you have to be prepared to give people things they didn't know that they wanted. And in leadership, that could be a stretch assignment, it could be praise that's unexpected, but there are things that people don't always know that they want, but that they actually need, and you can deliver that. And I guess the final lesson from hospitality to leadership is the simplest one. It's the most obvious one, but it's also the most important one, which is this. It's not about you. It's about the customer. It's about the people you're serving. So I find unreasonable hospitality a watchword, a watch phrase for how I navigate my own social interactions, how I navigate my meetings, and to some extent, how I navigate my life.